Let's start by setting ourselves up. So let's get those feet hip distance. Now, I don't want you to look down at your feet. I want you to think about the pressure you're feeling in your feet. Let's make sure it feels nicely centered and balanced between the left and right foot. Also between the front to back of both feet. So you might need to sway forwards and backwards a little bit to find that balance. And also for the inside to the outside of both feet. So really nicely grounded down into the floor. Moving up the body, let's just soften the knees, fingertips on those hip bones, and we're going to gently tilt that pelvis forwards and backwards. That's it, starting to check in with the body, see how we're feeling. Nice little bit of mobility going on. And then we want to set that pelvis in place. So once we feel like we've leveled out that pelvis, we're going to keep it there. We're going to draw that lower belly in and allow those arms to come down by our sides. We're going to inhale those shoulders up to the ears and exhale them back and down. Inhaling and exhaling, really setting up that posture right from the beginning. This time we're going to allow those shoulders just to fall softly down the back. Crown of the head reaching up to the ceiling. Let's feel that openness of the collarbones. And then we're going to gently turn that head left and right a few times to loosen up the neck. Check in with the neck and see how you're feeling today. Then we're going to bring the face back to center. Moving on to a little bit of shoulders now. Now, as we do our arm circles, I want you to make sure that we don't allow the ribs to flare forward. So keeping this lovely strong connection in the center. We're going to inhale the arms up to the ceiling and exhale them back and down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Now I want you to start assessing the left from the right shoulder, checking in, see if there's any differences, any tightness, any pain, any discomfort. Next time we raise the arms up, we're also going to add a heel raise. So gentle shift forwards of body weight as we bring the heels off the floor, and then lowering those heels with the arms. Peeling those heels up and lowering down. Let's go for two more. So really working on the balance, that ankle stability. This next one, we're going to see if we can hold it for a little bit longer. So raising those heels up. We're going to hold it. We're going to hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lower those heels down with the arms. Straight into a little bit of lateral flexion. So inhaling, exhaling over to one side, inhaling back, and exhaling over to the other side. Again, we're just assessing, have we got the same range both sides of the body? And then we're going to come back up to that lovely tall position. We are going to take those arms out to the side. I'm going to get you to keep your pelvis fixed still for the first couple. We're going to inhale and we're going to just rotate the upper part of the spine. Inhale back, exhale the other way. So we're trying to keep the hips and pelvis nice and still. And just isolate the rotation more into the thoracic spine. Now, on our next one, let the hips come with us. Let's get that full rotation now. Inhaling back, exhaling. And then we're going to be coming back to center. We are going to inhale the arms up to the ceiling. We're going to come into a very gentle baby back bend. And then on the exhale, we're going to let those arms float down, tilt the chin, and then round through the upper back, the mid back, the lower back, keeping those knees nice and soft. When you're in this rolled down position, I want you just to try and release any tension from the upper body. So those arms should be able to dangle freely. The crown of the head just gently pulling you down towards the floor. We're going to take a bit of a bend in the knees. I want you to bend those knees. See if we can get those hands flat on the floor. Then straighten the legs. And we're just trying to keep those hands down for as long as we can. Bending those knees. And stretching through the back of the body. Let's go for one more before we roll all the way back up. Rebuilding that spine. Coming all the way back into another baby back bend. Into our next roll down. And again, just lose any tension in the upper body. Hopefully, after those previous knee bends, we've gone a little bit deeper into this stretch. Let's take a breath in. As we exhale, we're going to roll up for the last time. Allowing those shoulder blades to roll down the back. Final baby back bend. And then exhaling all the way down for our last roll down. Again, just allow every bit of upper body tension leave the body. And then from there, we're going to bend those knees deeply, come down to seated. And have our feet right at the very bottom end of our mats. Okay. From there, we're going to just do a little transitional roll back to get down onto the floor. So scooping that belly in, keeping that back nicely rounded as we lay that spine all the way down onto the floor. Just step those feet in a little bit closer towards the bottom. Okay. I want you just to check that those shoulder blades are down the back. Neck is nice and long. And again, we have this openness of the collarbones. So trying to get those shoulders back down onto the floor. We're going to start very gently with some imprints of the spine. So using just your deep core muscles, you're going to start to draw that belly button down towards the floor. It's going to push your lower back into the floor. So we have a now flat back. And as we relax, we find that natural curve of the lower spine. And again, just allowing the belly button to draw down and back. I want you to place your left hand on your belly. So when you're drawing that belly button down now, feel the belly trying to draw away from the hand. Almost like you're trying to create a little bit of space between the belly and the hand. As we relax, you'll feel that belly travel back up towards the hand. Let's just do one more of those. So we just really try and engage that transverse abdominis muscle. And coming back up to that neutral spine. From there, we're going to float the arms overhead. We're going to start with some little curl-ups. So get a good old stretch. We're going to take a breath in. As we exhale, we're going to float the arms up, lift the head, lift the shoulder blades, reach those fingertips towards the knees. And then inhale as we lay back down. Just starting quite simple. Curling up. Inhaling down. We're going to do two more, just like that. As we do, we're feeling that belly button draw downwards towards the floor. Next time we curl up, the right leg is going to float into tabletop. Everything comes back down. Then the left leg. That's it. Back to the right. So at the moment, our arms are going either side of our legs. We're going to add a little twist on the next one. So we're going to try and reach both arms up over to the right, the other side of the right leg as it raises up. That's it. Coming back down. We're going to go over to the left next time as the left leg raises into tabletop. So we're getting into those oblique muscles as well now. And last one, over to the left. And then when we come back down, reach those arms overhead, stretch those legs out nice and long. Get really lovely stretch in those abdominals. We're going to aim to keep the legs nice and long for this next one. But what I would like you to do, I might need to give a couple of options for this one. We're going to bring the arms back over and we're going to just push ourselves up onto our forearms. So legs are nice and long. We're trying to push that lower back into the floor. Really engage that core. Without the body moving, we're going to aim to reach the right arm forwards. So we haven't twisted, we've just literally moved an arm. Then again, trying to keep the body nice and still, we're going to bring the right arm to join it. So we don't drop down. We're going to place the right elbow back under the shoulder, followed by the left. This is tough. If you want to, you can either carry on with that one, alternating the arms, or if you want something a little bit easier, you will just curl up. And then we're going to bring one arm overhead and down, other arm overhead and down without letting those shoulder blades come back down. So you've got two options there. So if you are going to stick with the forearm one, that's it. And you're going to try and lead with the opposite arm. That's it. You're trying to keep your body as stable as possible. We're going to go for one more. This one burns. And then we're going to roll ourselves all the way. Oh, that was a burner. Again, stretching out those abdominals. Because that one was so intense, we're going to roll onto our side now and do a little bit of work for the hips and the oblique muscles. So I'm going to get you just to roll over, facing me. We're going to go for straight legs. And before we start with any movement, we want to make sure that we've got these hips stacked. So what we're trying to avoid here is letting that top hip fall upwards towards the ribs, which will make us collapse into that lower waist. So we want to keep that top hip pushing away. That's going to give you that little bit of lift in that lower waist. Now you've got two options. Hand on your hip if we're all good with balance and aren't toppling forwards, or just place your fingertips on the floor if you need a bit of extra help with that balance. Double leg raises. We're going to inhale, exhale, lifting those legs, try not to collapse into that lower waist. Inhaling back down. Exhaling to lift. Inhaling to lower. We're going to go for 3. And 4. 5. I like to keep my hand on my hip because I can feel if I'm starting to lose that stacked hips. On this next one, we're going to keep the legs raised. Top leg, we're going to lift and lower. The bottom leg is going to stay nice and still for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and a 1. Now keep the top leg still. We're going to lower the bottom leg down and up to meet the top leg. Drop it down and lift up. So we're now squeezing into that inner thigh. 5, 6, 7, and 8, and lower both legs down. You're probably feeling that in the top hip, the top of the waist. We're not quite done yet. We're going to come into some side teaser. So that bottom arm, I'd like you to stretch it away slightly diagonally off your mat. The top arm is going to come up towards the ceiling. We're going to take a breath in. As we exhale, we're going to roll onto one glute as we lift both legs and come up into that side teaser pose. So we're trying to keep those legs nicely lifted, balanced on one glute, and then allow ourselves to come back down onto the sides. Let's do that again. We're going to roll and lift, and then lay back down. That's it. We've got 3 more. Last 2. Now, on this last one, we're going to hold it. The lower leg, we're going to lower it down to the floor and lift for 8, 7, 6, really scooping in the belly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and coming all the way down. That was a challenging one. Right, okay, let's do that straight away on the other side. So just gently turn yourself around the other way. Let's get everything stacked. Most importantly, that top hip. Lovely straight legs. We're going to inhale. Exhale, both legs up. And inhale down. We're going to go for 8 of these. 3. Just checking everything is strong in the center. 4. 5. 6. 7. Next one, we're going to keep both legs raised. And 8. Now the bottom leg stays still. Top leg lift and lowers for 8. 7. 4. 3. 2. And a 1. The top leg stays still. The bottom leg lowers and lifts for 8. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then we're going to lower both legs down. Now we're coming into those side teasers. So bottom arm diagonally away from your head. top arm up to the ceiling. Take that breath in. As we exhale, we're going to roll onto one glute, lift, and then roll back down onto your side. That's it. We're going to go for 4 more. 3. 2. Last one, we're going to hold. That bottom leg is going to lower and lift for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Before we come all the way back down onto the side. Ah, definitely feels that in the top waist. Then we're going to roll onto our bellies and work on the back of the body. So roll onto your front. I'm going to get you to make a little pillow for your forehead. Place one hand on the back of the other hand, forehead down. Now, I want you just to separate your feet about maybe the width of your mat. And I want you to relax the whole body. I just want you to do a little check round, make sure we're not holding any tension anywhere, not in the glutes, the core, the upper back, the legs, nothing. I'm going to work us on the transverse abdominis, your TA muscle. I'm going to call it TA in this position. I normally do it lying on the back, but I thought we'd do it lying on the front today. So what I want you to think about, without any other muscle in the body helping, I just want you to start to pull that belly button up towards the spine, away from the floor. And then allow it just to lower down. So hopefully you're not feeling anything happening in the glutes. We're not tensing anywhere else. Just allowing that belly to try and lift itself up, up, up off the floor. This is your TA layer of muscle. We're really activating. So this is the one that holds everything in place. Okay, we're going to go for one more. So I want you to hold it. See if you can hold it a little bit higher. Can you squeeze it a little bit more? And then just relax it down for a moment. That's quite intense work there. We are going to do a little bit of dart work now. So you're going to bring your arms down by your sides. Before we go for the lift, I want you to think about that TA. Start to lift that TA up away from the floor. Now keeping that engaged, we're going to inhale and then exhale the chest, the arms and the legs up and down. Lift up as we exhale. Inhale down, keeping that back of that neck nice and long. So you want to avoid looking forwards. You want to avoid looking to the side. Every time we come back down, just check you're still holding that deep core muscle in. We're going to go for 3 and lower. We're going to go for 2 and lower. We're going to go for the last one. We're going to hold it. We're going to draw those shoulder blades down the back, squeezing those glutes, keeping that tummy pulled in, and lower all the way back down. Bring those hands under the shoulders. We're going to push ourselves back into a little child's pose, stretching off that lower back. Nice big deep breaths in and out. Okay, from there, we're going to come back over onto our backs. Laying yourself all back on the floor, checking again that we're nice and even, left and right sides. Knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor. We're going to take the hands behind the head. Make a little cradle. Now, we're going to float the right leg into tabletop. We're going to float the left leg into tabletop. We're going to inhale and exhale the head and shoulders up where we're going to keep them. So when we're in this position, just check that you are not pulling on that head. You're not pulling on that neck. It's just resting in those hands, elbows out to the side. We're going to do some bent leg, lift and lower. So starting with the right leg, think about that lovely deep core connection. We're going to float the right leg down, keeping it bent, toe tap, and bring that knee back up. Left leg. So this is a movement of the hip rather than any movement of the knee joint. We're going to go for 2 and 1. From there, we're going to come into some bent leg scissors. Let that right leg come down. Now, as the right leg comes up, the left leg is going to come down. We're going to scissor those legs, keeping the knee joint bent. We're going to add a little twist of the torso. So we're going to bring the left elbow to the right knee, then the right elbow to the left knee. Going to go for 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Allow both feet to come down, head and shoulders to come down. Stretch out those legs. Stretch those arms overhead. We're going to give those hip flexors a little bit of a rest now with some bridge work. We're going to bring the glutes a bit more involved into this next one. So I'm going to get you to bend your knees, feet flat on the floor. Again, just check everything feels nice and centered in the body. Arms down by your side, shoulder blades tucked into their little pockets down your back. Let's just start a little bit of basic bridge to get that movement in the spine. So taking a breath in, exhale into that imprinted spine. Then start to bring the glutes in as we peel that tailbone up off the floor, peeling that spine up. Finding that position, we're in a straight line from the knees down to the shoulders. Inhaling and exhaling as we lay that spine back down. Bone by bone. Finding your neutral spine, we're going to do that again. Let's go for one more basic bridge. Drive those arms down into the floor to get that height. Coming down out of this bridge. Now, the next time we bridge up, we're going to stay up. Arms are supporting us. We've got this really strong base of support. We're going to be looking for this next exercise to keep that pelvis as level and steady as possible. We're going to do marching legs, nice and slow. Right leg first, take a breath in. As you exhale, we're going to bring it into tabletop and place it back down. Left leg, tabletop, and down. We're going to do 2 more. And then come all the way back down to the floor. Right, we're going to do that again, but this time we're going to bring the arms up to the ceiling. So we're narrowing that base of support. It's going to be harder to keep the pelvis level. So let's bridge up first of all. Then bring the arms up to the ceiling. Now can we bring that right leg up, keeping that pelvis level? And down. So a lot more challenging now. We're very reliant on the stabilizing muscles of the hips. We're balanced on those shoulder blades. So we want to make sure they're nicely anchored into the floor. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to lay that spine all the way back down. Draw that right knee into the chest. Hold it there. Draw the left knee into the chest. Gently rock side to side. Okay, we're going to go into a little bit of pendulum next. So from this position, keeping the legs in tabletop, we're going to bring the arms out to a T position on the floor. Knees together, feet together. Take a breath in. As you exhale, we're going to start to lower the legs to the right. So the left hip is going to peel up off the floor. Try not to drop those heels. Find that stretch in the waist. Inhale. Exhale, just go a little bit tighter in the waist as we draw those knees up and over to the left. Right hip will peel off the floor. Pause as we take a breath in. And exhale back over. So really looking for that control. Feeling that stretch in the waist, in the obliques. Trying to keep both shoulder blades down on the floor as we do this. Now, could we add a little bit of a extension of the leg? So once we're over to the right, we pause. We extend both legs straight, adding that extra bit of load. We bend, bring those knees up and over to the left. We pause. We extend both legs. We bend and up and over. Let's do that one more time each side. And then coming back to center, let's wrap those arms around those knees. And again, gently draw them into the chest. Rocking side to side. We're going to do some roll-ups next. We're going to aim to do 4 roll-ups, but if that's not for you, you can start with a seated version, doing your roll backs. But at the end of each one, we're going to be adding a little extra on. So we're going to be adding on a spine stretch forwards for the first 2 that we do. Then we're going to go into the twist, spine twist for the next 2. And then the last 2, we're going to add the saw onto the end. So if you're going to do it from the floor, you're going to stretch those legs out and bring those arms overhead. If you want to start from the seated version and do roll backs, you'll come up seated now. Let's inhale the arms up to the ceiling. Exhale the head and shoulders as we come all the way up and all the way forward into spine stretch forward. grab hold of those ankles, grab hold of the feet, wherever you get to. Let's take a breath in and out. Then we inhale as we roll up and exhale as we roll back down. Allowing those arms to come back over the head. We're going to repeat that exactly the same way. When you're in a spine stretch forward, we're going to hold it, taking some big deep breaths. Then we're going to roll back up and back down. After the next roll up, we're going to do the spine twists, one way, one the other way. So find that tall spine, allow the arms to come out to the side, inhale and exhale. Inhale to center, exhale, back to center and roll all the way back down. Again, we're going to repeat that same roll up with twist. Coming all the way back down. Okay, we're going to add the saw onto this next one. So after we've rolled up, when the arms separate, so will the legs. We then twist and reach little finger to little toe. Coming back up, twist and reach that little finger to that little toe. Coming up, bring the arms to the front, legs together as we roll back down. One more. Bring those arms, feet together as we roll back down and come into that full body stretch. Nice big deep breaths in and out. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of dead bug now. I'd like you to bend your knees. Bring your right leg into tabletop, followed by your left. Let's float those arms up to the ceiling. Now, I'm going to start with my head and shoulders down. If you want to go straight for it, bring those head and shoulders up to begin with, feel free. But we are going to start right arm, left leg, floating them away from each other and bringing back in. It's really slow and controlled. Then if your head and shoulders are down, but you want to bring them up, we can bring them up now and continue that movement. We're going to go for 4 more. 4. Just make sure those shoulder blades are still off the floor if your head and shoulders are up. 2. And 1. And then again, hug those knees in, head and shoulders down, gently rocking side to side. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of rolling. So you can either gently push yourself up to seated or rock yourself up to seated. And we're going to hug those shins in towards us. We want to round through that spine. We're going to keep the chin tucked. We're going to roll, and if you need to place your feet back down in between, that's fine. Or if we can go for that balance in between, fantastic. So really rounding through that spine, start to roll back, find your roll and come up to that balance. And roll and up. Looking for that controlled roll on those shoulder blades. Okay, we're going to come up to seated. I want to add a little teaser onto the end of that roll. So after we've gone for our roll, we come back up, we hold that balance, we then extend those legs and arms, we tuck and we roll. Let's go for last two. And last one. Good. Really nice. Okay, that got my heart rate up. Okay, one last one we're going to do. It's going to be our seal, so still sticking with the rolling. We are going to lift those feet off the floor. We're going to hold on to the outside of the shins. Can be done with arms through, but today I'm just going to hold on to the outside of the shins. Knees are wide. Okay, we're going to tap the feet together 3 times. 1, 2, 3, roll. Balance. 1, 2, 3, roll. If you want that slightly more challenging option, we could add 3 little taps when we're in the rolled back position as well. So we tap, 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 roll, tap, 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 roll. Last one. And then from there, just roll yourself down. Reach those arms overhead, legs nice and long. I'm going to get you to cross your right ankle over your left and grab your right wrist with your left hand. I want you to draw your right arm over the head. So use that left hand to pull it. I want to get a really nice stretch through the whole side of the right side of the body. Okay, just release that hand, uncross the legs, recross, grab your left wrist with your right hand and draw that left arm over to the right hand side. So we feel that stretch down the left side of the body now. Okay, from there, just come back to center, release those hands. I'm going to get you to roll onto your side now. We're going to bend the bottom leg. We're going to straighten the top leg, take it as far backwards off your mat as we can, and then bring that top arm up and over, interlink those fingers, and then draw that lower belly in towards the spine. Nice big deep breaths in and out. Now from there, keep your position in, but I just want you to take the top arm, bend the top knee, and see if you can grab that ankle. I want you to draw that heel towards the bottom. And you're trying to push your knee backwards behind you. I want to get that lovely quad stretch. Okay, from there, just release that leg off. Bring that leg forwards, just straight if you can. Top arm is going to come up and over. And then with the hand that was left behind, if you can grab that leg, gently draw it up a little bit higher. So you get that stretch all the way around that hip and glute. Potentially even in the backs of your legs as well, depending on how tight those hamstrings are. Okay, from there, let's just bring everything back to center. We're going to push ourselves up and over to the other side. Taking that top leg back, top arm over the head. And hopefully you're feeling a lovely stretch all the way through the hip flexor, through the waist, up through the lats, and into the top arm. Okay, from there, we're going to bring the top arm, bend the top knee, grab that top ankle, draw that heel in towards the bottom, and try and push that knee back behind you to increase that stretch in that quad, that front of that thigh. Okay, now we're going to bring that top leg forwards. Top arm is going to come up and over. We kind of semi-roll onto our shoulder blades. Grab that top leg with the other hand. Give it a gentle stretch. We're going to take one more big deep breath in and out. And then on our next exhale, we're going to bring everything back to center. Gently push yourself up to seated. Find yourself in a comfortable seated position for you, where we're going to finish with a few little shoulder rolls with our deep breath. So inhaling those shoulders up to the ears and exhaling them back and down. Inhaling and exhaling. And on this very last one, let's keep those shoulder blades softly down the back. And well done.